Hi guys, welcome back to Paper Confessions with Karamia, back with week 3 of hashtag Vintage Sewing Pattern Challenge. This open collaboration is hosted by BB's Closet Creations and myself, Paper Confessions with Karamia. So it is an open collaboration. You can join in anytime. BB and I are personally posting the next 2 weeks that's left in September, but you can definitely check out the playlist with the same title. Check out the prompts in the description box and join along the fun. We are encouraging you to craft with us, use your stash, and just be imaginative and have fun creating. So the challenge is to use one of these vintage pattern papers and make 5 different items that you can use for your junk journal. So let's have a look and see what I did make. Today's theme is fashion and sewing notions. So you can definitely mix match, pick a theme. If you want to just do fashion, you can. If you just want to do sewing theme, you can do that as well. I'm going to be talking about overlays and other things that you can use your vintage patterns for. So here is a plain looking notebook. Last week, I was able to show you how to make a fabric scroll bookplate for your junk journal. You can do the same for plain notebook covers and make a decorative bookplate for it. And this is what we have from this to this. So what I've done is I had put on some beautiful floral wallpaper and using our pattern paper as an overlay. An overlay is basically creating a filter between 2 sheets of paper, one maybe with a pattern, kind of diffusing the colors and also creating a more neutral but softer palette. And then you can see here, I have just created layers by putting a beautiful handkerchief, a vintage handkerchief that I think Angela from the Traveling Crafter had gifted me. And also from my master board, which I'll show you what I did also, that I had leftover pieces from that and I just punched out some circles so you can create discs where you can use them as little mats for your brads as you make your little fabric clusters like this one. And then on our little library card, you can see that I've again created an overlay on top, and I love seeing the stitching right here, and then did some zigzag stitching all around it, and we have this gorgeous vintage looking sticker. So now I have my notebook cover and it's so pretty. So the next one I wanted to show you, inside this notebook are plain pages and they're pretty thin, and if I plan to write here, I like using pencil board so that it doesn't make an imprint on the next page. So if you are using a notebook for that purpose, for just writing entries rather than, for example, creative collages and different layouts, then having this next piece, which is a pencil board, is a great idea to have. And it's so simple. So here is a vintage looking cover from a pattern paper. And what I've done is simply laminated it, but you can see in the back I've used also some scrapbook paper, created a beautiful overlay, and you can see how the pattern is still peeking out through that, and it just makes a beautiful contrast. So you got this piece. So I don't want to add any other embellishments on it because usually pencil boards are supposed to be flat and you don't have to have any bumps, so you want it to be as flat as possible, so when you write it's so much easier. So you just put it underneath your paper and start writing away. That way you don't have the writing imprint on your next page. So that is number 2. And then the third idea is to use it for your envelope. So here's a beautiful wallpaper border that was gifted to me by BB's Closet Creations. And again, creating our overlay here, really pretty. You make beautiful envelopes. You can decorate it. You still see some of the details from our pattern paper, and it makes a wonderful liner for your envelopes. So here it is, and then just like that, you have a beautiful lining. This makes a wonderful envelope piece for your journals. You can also send it out in Happy Mail, but I think it is gorgeous. And then we got our zigzag stitching all around, and this is what the back looks like. But I think this came out really nice. Now let me show you the last piece where I had used some of the pattern paper that I had used on a master board. If you'd like to learn how to make one, I have a tutorial showing you how to do that and how to use different pieces from your master board. So this next project is something that is a work in progress because it's not quite complete yet, but I will show you what I've made. Almost forgot. So before I go show you the final project, another one is to create fabric clusters. And again, adding a neutral color such as this over really dark, rich colors like burgundy and black kind of creates this beautiful, just neutral look to it. And then you just have different dimensions because of that. And then this is again another leftover piece from my master board. And I just use it as a little backing for our beautiful brad. And you can add this to your journal pages as little tabs and your envelopes. Like for example, you could put it on top like this. And then you have a little topper for your envelopes and pockets. So that's another idea. And then the final project, my friend Dale had gifted me a beautiful prize pack from her recent birthday and retirement challenge. And she gave me a cigarette box that I wanted to alter and make into a lap book. So this is still a work in progress. So what I've done is I made a master board, and you can see that the pattern paper is there, did a collage, I cut it apart, and now you can use different parts of the master board. So in this case, I've used it as part of our cover, and you can add on to it. In this case, I've added some of the beautiful jewelry that she had shared with me, but I will be doing a more thorough flip through of this lapbook journal once I am done. Let me show you what the inside looks like. So on this side, we have a little flip up envelope, and she had also gifted me a wonderful antique image that I scanned. And here it is. So I cut it apart, but again, in the background, we did an overlay of the beautiful pattern paper, and you can see how nicely that sits and complements the image in the foreground there. And then we have some of these little pieces. Let's say it's from Star Tailoring, and that's as part of the advertisement. And then here, where I'm going to be adding my signatures. So this is scrapbook paper where I had decoupaged some of the pattern paper. We have a little sneak peek there, little fabric. And so you can see that whatever was remaining, I had done a stitch and created 2 pockets. And then for our pearl necklace, I used this as our holder instead of string. So you'll see that the gorgeous pattern paper is also on the back. Did some of this curly or wavy random stitching just to create some texture. And then finally we have this one on the backing just to create some backgrounds for your lapbook journal, or so that if this was the back page of your journal, then that would you do. And then you can see that we have some of our sewing notions and sewing themed stickers, and then you still see the details of the pattern paper. So there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this vintage sewing challenge pattern. I hope you found some inspiration today. Make sure to check out the playlist. We have some crafty friends, Carol from Crinkled Path and Margie from This and That have joined along. So you can find all their channels down below in the description box, as well as our wonderful host, BB's Closet Creations. Wishing you all a wonderful week. Thanks again for watching. Bye.